What's going on, guys? This is Keith Burroughs from the What's Your Grind podcast, and this is episode 10. I have a married couple, entrepreneur, hardworking. I have Vic and Crystal here, and we're going to talk about their many business ventures and even how they got started. So episode 10 starts now.
Grind Nation podcast. What's your grind like? What's your grind like? What's your grind like? What you grind like? What's your grind like? What's your grind like? What you grind like? What's your grind like? What's your grind like? What you grind like? What's your grind like? What's your grind like? What you grind like? What's your grind like? What's your grind like? What you grind like? What's your grind like? What's your grind like? What you grind like?
What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing?
What's up?
Listen, I'm super excited to have you guys here today. Please introduce yourself.
So I'm Vic Cobbs.
And I'm Crystal Cobbs.
And this is the Cobb family.
Yes.
Can we start with how long you've been married and, how you guys met?
I'll go.
All right.
Because I know the story the best.
Okay.
We met in September of 2000. I had just moved to South Jersey from Philadelphia. My mom got married my junior year of high school. And Victor was a senior. And we met then. We were just friends. We started dating in 2004 and got married in 2008. So this year we'll be together 20 years and married 16.
Oh, man, congrats. That's crazy.
Much appreciated.
Yeah. So, Vic, I got a question for you, good brother. One, I want to talk about your smoothies.
Okay. All right.
We got to talk about the smoothies.
We'll get there. Yeah.
Sure. I'm gonna jump straight in. This. I remember my wife told me about you first, about that you had a smoothie business at the Gloucester outlets, and I used to shop there frequently before my brand was sold there. Okay. So I was there often, and I finally got a chance to meet you and try your smoothies, and no cap, the smoothies was crazy.
Yeah, much appreciated. So real quick, even before the smoothies came about, I have a degree in kinesiology, exercise science. So I was really always into the health world. Coming right out of college, I graduated in December 2007, and we got married in August of 2008. So I was fresh out of college. I got my first career in the exercise field, right? So I ran gyms on the training side. I played ball in college, so I had some knowledge from that, football in college, so I had some knowledge from that perspective. But health was always something I was very passionate about. Fast forward 2018, it was about 18, right before we got into having a salon. But her and I had a conversation about what can we do to really tap into people on a regular basis. I did the personal training thing. I did the running the gym, so I did it from a managerial perspective. I really enjoy management. That's one of my biggest passions, is management and leading people. So we got into the smoothies. How can we touch on the people all the time on a regular basis? But then we want to make sure that we're going to be a little bit different than some of the bigger franchises that are out here, and not adding so much more fillers and certain things of that nature. So, all right, let's figure it out, right? So at the time, I was working in corporate America.
Okay.
But we knew we had to get it out. I went to corporate America strictly to venture out to be more independent with my wife. Yeah. So, and again, this business came after we started with her. So, so it's all right, cool. So we got the smoothies going. All right, I'm leaving corporate America. We got this point right here. We started the process. I came into this job because I wanted to get funding. I wanted to have money, of course, take care of the family. But now I got to a certain point. I'm like, we got to go now.
Question.
Go ahead.
All right, because this is a very important pivotal point that you're touching on right now. Most of us got our start in corporate America first, and then there was a decision process that struck to say, okay, this is I'm able to take care of my family with this corporate job, but there's more, and I want more. So, was it hard for you to transition from having a corporate mindset to saying, I'm about to just jump out there and become an entrepreneur?
Was it hard? No. And the reason why it wasn't hard, because I'm in sales. So I did sales strictly straight out of high school. Out of college. Okay. And I was doing a little bit of sales. Actually, I was in high school. When I was really first in college as well, I did some sales as well. I was doing Cutco. Anybody know about Cutco? Shout out to Cutco. I was selling knives door to door. So when you're in the sales game, it kind of grooms you to be more entrepreneurial in the way you attack everything. Started in a store location at a big corporation, a wireless corporation. And then I moved to the B2B side. So in the B2B side, I was actually, this is part of my territory. I was from Treeville's, like Northeast Philadelphia down to City Line Avenue. Okay. That whole, from that Treeville's all the way down that whole strip, the whole strip basically. So I'm going into these different places, talking to CEOs, talking to CFOs, talking to COOs, and I had to get to the decision makers. So now I'm figuring out, okay, I'm working this job, but I'm in a position where at the corporation that I work for, they train you to be more entrepreneurial and drive, and you had to read books and, you know, all that type of stuff. So that kind of got my mind kind of groomed in that way before we even built our first business. So I was ready to go, you know. Nice. And that was before I even got to the last job. When I was in LA Fitness, that shout out to them. I had a great experience there, but we had to read books, we had to study, we had to do certain things, and you had to go out there and talk to people. And then you had to make sure you come back and you got to talk to these strangers and figure out how they can become customers. And it wasn't for me. Conversion. Conversion. So when I was with the last company I was with, like I said, I went in the B2B floor side, started talking to CFOs, started talking to CEOs, and I'm just talking. I'm more like, I'm working a job. Yeah. But I'm like, I don't want to be in your seat one day. Somehow, some way, to be able to have a bunch of people, and they run people that know more than I do, and maybe they can take some of my insight, but they can know more than I do, and we can get money together and have a good time. Give me some of the challenges that you faced creating the first business, the smoothie business. No, the first business actually was our hair salon.
The hair salon was first.
So wait, let's go back. All right. All right. So can you tell me how you got started with the hair salon?
So the hair salon came because I was a hairstylist for a long time, but I worked in other people's salons and did hair on the side. I would work medical and do hair on the weekends. So the hair salon came from Victor being in corporate America and was able to save enough money to open up our first business, which was the hair salon, which was ultimately something that was my goal growing up. So his goal was to start the hair salon and let the hair salon work itself to where it'd be able to get him out of corporate America. That's brilliant. And he gave himself 2 years. We opened the salon May 2018, and he said January 2020, I'm gonna be done with corporate America. That's brilliant. It happened January 2020. He was done with corporate America, and that's the year that we launched the Green Machine, which was the smoothie business. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so tell me about your experience, the challenges that you faced creating the hair salon, and what was the name of the salon?
Ahava Hair Boutique.
Yes. What were some of your challenges early on in creating the salon?
Early on, I think it was that we had to dive right into it because we had 30 days to make a decision to open the building, because I was currently working in the building, and then the owner, I was working for another salon, he decided to close the salon down. And then Victor was like, you're not going to go work nowhere else, ask him for the landlord's information and we'll take over the building. So we had literally 30 days so that was the biggest challenge, making sure we got everything done with state board, with the state of New Jersey, everything cleared, the fire department, our codes, making sure that we didn't need architects and everything to draw up new blueprints, making sure all that was done within 30 days. That was the biggest challenge. Once we were open, we hit the ground running. I was already known for doing hair, and I had already had connections to other stylists, so we were able to get a full staff opening the salon. So the biggest challenge, of course, is the day-to-day, but the biggest challenge was just getting it open in a short amount of time that we had. But once we had the salon open, the salon ran itself, basically.
Yeah.
I would say for myself, like I started learning, anybody who's in the small business world, you're not going to just wear one hat. You're not going to just do that, right? So I was like, well, I know Crystal can do hair, but Crystal's not going to lift up these floors. She's not going to paint like this.
Yeah,
she's not going to do none of that type of stuff. Then I know when you in the hair game, it's a lot of things you got to do on a day-to-day basis, but then I'm like, I know I'm good at managing. I'm good at managerial things, so I'm going to make sure that I'm interviewing stylists and things of that nature. So another thing for me, I was learning I laid the floor down. Like, I didn't know how to lay the floor before I did this. I just,
now.
YouTube University.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, this is easy work. So I had, before when I was 18, I used to build like aircraft carriers for the Navy.
Okay.
And like submarines, stuff like that. That's fresh out of high school before I went to Norfolk State. But I started learning how to work my hands. Even when I was the neighborhood kid, I used to walk around, help the neighborhood guys, stuff of that nature. So I learned how to work with my hands for the most part. I know I can do it. All I gotta do is look at it, I can figure it out and go from there. So painting, that's easy, But, I also another challenge, I guess, was, all right, we got the building now. How exactly we gonna make it look? Where we gonna buy the stuff from where we can make sure we real cautious with costs,
right?
But also make it look nice and make it look perfect. That was her.
Thank
God
I already had a vision.
Yeah.
For how I wanted a salon to look.
Right.
So once I found all the furniture and everything, that part came. We stayed within the budget and we did well opening up when we did.
How do you guys create and maintain a positive, productive environment with the businesses, like the culture of your businesses internally?
Well, we love taking care of people. And so with both the businesses, really all the businesses that we have, we create a culture of family. And so we allow everyone to come in. We don't look at it like we're y'all boss and y'all work for us.
Right.
We're more like a team. And so we create team environment. We did a lot of team building, a lot of trips together. We would do a lot of like things to show them our appreciation for working with us. You know what I mean? We did a lot of stuff like that to keep the atmosphere in the businesses at a positive level. So that was,
that's wonderful. That's wonderful. And I know that the people that were collaborating with you guys and working with you guys have attested to that it was a good, positive environment.
Yeah.
Give me a milestone, Vic. Mm-hmm. Give me a milestone within the businesses that you are running, and how it went for you.
I'm gonna say right from the beginning of the Green Machine. So going back to the story of the smoothies part, and bring it right back. So I'm like, all right, great. Let's test it out. Let's test out these smoothies that we like.
Yeah.
We drink them all the time.
Sure.
So we do. I'm into it. Anybody knows that. It helps when you're passionate about what you're doing, right?
Absolutely.
You just don't want to do it for the money. So I'm like, all right, let's figure it out. All right, so this is my favorite smoothie that I normally get from this spot. This is my favorite smoothie I normally get from this spot. I've been drinking these things for all my, forever. But let me learn a little more, studying the fruits and how to kind of put them together, and which ones the benefits, and things of that nature. So I kind of already knew some of that, most of that stuff anyway. But like, all right, cool. So 2019, walked away from corporate America. I think it was 2019. December 2019.
Okay.
Let's go back a little bit. 2020, what happened in March? We had something that happened the whole entire, world.
The world.
For the most part, right?
Sure.
So it was 3 months. We didn't know. You could kind of feel something was happening in 2020 based on some of the information I like to follow and look at. I'm like, something's going to go down in 2020. Yeah. I didn't know it was going to go down like that. So the biggest milestone was like, all right, well, we can't stop. Now we got to shut down our salon.
The salon was shut down for 90 days.
90 days, the salon was shut down. I just walked away from corporate America, right? So, you know what I mean? So we like, all right, how are we going to make this kind of work? So, can't stop. So we started handing out smoothies. We started delivering smoothies to customers.
Yeah, we started from our house, so we would make them and then deliver them. That's how we started.
Right. We probably have commissary. Sorry, shout out. We probably do that, but we wasn't. We was making it right from our house.
Right.
We was clean though, but making it right from our house. Still utilizing that time because everybody was at home. Everybody was stuck on TV. Everybody watching podcasts. Everybody watching social media all crazy. All right, let's show how we roll. So we making smoothies. We had got some funding when that funding came, we was like perfect. Like
Perfect
at the end
timing.
of the day, it was perfect timing. We just kept going though. But at the time, we were already building that following. We were already building those people are saying, "Oh, Smoothies is banging." I'm driving. You know, I'm driving people door to door, knocking. Some people work in corporate America. Some people work at hospitals. They was like, "Listen, lunchtime, come bring us 20, bring us 30, 30 smoothies."
Doing a lot. The post office, we did a lot of smoothies.
Shout out to all those people that they still support it. Once we opened the truck, until they still support this day. They come into this hair salon. So it's those people. That's our hearts.
We have a village, and it all happened fast. So the shutdown was.
Quick.
We started doing the smoothies in April of 2020. Our first date on the smoothie truck was October 30th, 2020.
So we built the truck
so
out.
So everything happened really fast.
So you started creating the smoothies, and then you work your way up to get in the truck in October.
Yeah.
Correct.
So now y'all on wheels by October.
Now we on wheels.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we built it, and again,
built the food truck.
That we built the food truck, but remember, we still social media and people don't know what's going on behind the scenes. They don't know what we're going on with our builds. We didn't care. Nobody cared about that anyway.
That's the part I want to speak to, though.
Yeah.
I want to speak to the part of the work behind. You didn't just say, okay, January 2020 we open, and in January we also got this smoothie machine. Things don't happen that way, but it may seem that way from someone on the outside looking at the business model, but it's not reality.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of work, and you built up a really nice audience too for the smoothies and for the salon. So this is something that takes time and real work.
Yeah, absolutely. So, how can I say it? It was the challenges. So, children, we got 3 children. We'll talk about that. Y'all want to talk about that as well. We have 3 children, so it was challenging because we had a mortgage to pay. Nice new house we just purchased in 2018, I believe at that time. We had a mortgage to pay. We had salon was shut down. We had that bill still coming in.
Still pay the rent.
So,
still had to pay all the bills.
I'll tell you, Keith, one thing I told you, I'm a sales guy. So I got to figure it out, So you communicate to the landlord. You talk to them a little bit about the rentals, like what can we do? How can we kind of make this a little bit work for us? Can we put it on the back end? Obviously, we had to put our mortgage on the back end as well. So all right, that's more money back in our pocket right now. We can put back to the business.
Sure.
We'll get back to
investment.
It's an investment. So all right, cool. We put that on the back end. We paid off we still had some money coming in as well. We still, still doing wigs and things of that nature. Paid off our utility bills and took care of our children at the time. And we just kept going. Like I said, once we got some funding, we made sure we got a little bit extra so we could take care of the ride, because we knew, all right, we could put half of this over here to the truck, and the other half we could take care to our personal self, our children, our family, put it back to our mortgage, we pay it down. So we just got a mentality to just keep going. Like at the end of the day, like you said, the positive mentality that we have and the atmosphere, we live that. We live that.
Teamwork.
The teamwork. So we communicate a lot. So anybody who's married, they understand how important communication is.
I feel like when everything happened in 2020, either one or two things happened from that experience. Either people realized that they could not be next to each other, or you really was like, yo, my wife is the bomb. Like, we're spending all this additional time with each other. And like with me and Kia, we started really, really strategizing what was the best path moving forward for together, both of our businesses. I want to know, what advice would you give if we had a young Black audience member? It could be any race, but if we had an audience member that's viewing you right here, right now, what would you tell that person? When it comes to being an entrepreneur, when it comes to teamwork, when it comes to understanding how to strategize your plan before you implement it, create a actual plan.
I would say educate yourself as much as you can in the particular field that you're going in. As far as being an entrepreneur, it is not easy. Do not let social media fool you. Do not let social media make you think that we out here making millions of dollars, or one day we will. But being young entrepreneurs and still new in it is not easy. You got to take into consideration so many fees, so many taxes, so many things that you're paying for on a day-to-day basis as an entrepreneur, that a lot of things go right back into the business before you can really splurge on your lifestyle. So you just have to have a plan, have multiple streams if you can, so you have something coming in, working for you while you work in the businesses. And as far as the partnership goes, being a couplepreneur is not easy as well, because sometimes the businesses can overtake the marriage a little bit. And I'm always the one like, Victor, shut business talk down. Let's just be married right now. And Victor be like, no, we like, work is our marriage. Like, you know, we are together in this. So I think just have balance and also respect for one another. Like he said, communication, and just always, you know, show support and loyalty to one another. If you have support, trust, communication, friendship, and all that stuff, it's going to work out for itself. You just have to always make sure you educate yourself on business, because you don't want to be uneducated and just jump into it and then you're not going to know what you're doing.
Well, she said balance. So this is where we have our back and forth sometimes, because there's no balance in my life as a man. I don't really, I mean, granted, I know what's important, but it's no true balance, and that's where I'm glad I have a wife who wants that, because she brings me back, because I don't believe it's like you got to go all in. Right. You can't. I mean, it's really hard to have balance. Like, we don't see. It's been times throughout the year we don't see our children. Thank God. Like, thank the Most High that we have. We started young, real young. So our oldest is about to be 22.
Is older,
And our middle one is 18. The other one is 14. So we have children at the time. You know, years back, they were getting to that age where they're a little bit more independent, so it helped us a lot. So having children, I'm gonna be honest, they're huge assets to your life, but there could be their liabilities when they're young. From a business perspective, I'm talking about with a business perspective. So be mindful of that. You know, you gotta really be mindful of that, because they require a lot of time and energy. So we had, at one point when we started in 2018, I believe, we had one of our children was homeschooled. So he's around us. He was seeing everything. He was touching everything. He was coming with it. Then we had COVID happen, and everybody was homeschooled.
Everybody was,
You know what I mean, at that particular time. So now we already had the lifestyle going already, so we kind of be able to communicate. They kind of understood a little bit, but there really was no balance. It was really like this: we're gonna spend time when we can with them, make sure they feed them, make sure they clothe, make sure they got the right stuff, but like the basics. But we gotta build, we gotta keep going, we gotta, you know, we don't look at hours. You know, as an entrepreneur, don't look at hours ever. There's no hours. That's why I said there's no balance. Because when you're working in corporate America, you have a lot more balanced life, and you might not think it until you get into the entrepreneur life.
That's right.
You know, there's no off of weekends.
16-hour days, like
easily. That's nothing. You know, there's no weekends. You know, the weekends, depending on what you're into, you really don't have a weekend to party. So my lifestyle is totally different. Since I walked away from corporate America, it just, you know, I go shopping when people are at work. I do a lot of different things. So I just feel like it's no real balance. I don't think that. Just keep going and have a mentality of, you know, you really cannot allow things to kind of like hinder your process or throw you off your plan. Your plan is your plan, and guess what? Your plan's going to change, but don't allow your plan to, like, don't go too far from that plan. Just stick with it, because it's going to get altered. It's going to change. But are you strong enough mentally? That's why she said, like, reading and certain things that we was doing, know the business, understand. Are you strong enough mentally to keep going? Is your plan strong enough to hold you? You know what I mean? And even if you got to go back to get some other ways to get money or whatever, that's fine. But stick to your plan. Just make sure you're putting something to the side to continue doing your process.
How do you, as a couple, prioritize self-care? Because, first of all, before you even answer that, right? I love how you guys are bouncing off, you know, and it's even slightly different because you remind me of me and my wife. You know, wifey's the exact same way. Listen, Keith, you got to stop talking about this right now. I'll go on, and I talk until things come into fruition. I spend the check before I get the check for business because you have to have a plan in place before you do anything.
I agree.
So, and there's times when, you know, it could be a Sunday and my wife will be like, all right, we're going to do this with the family. And while we're doing whatever we're doing with the family, I'm still talking to her about what this next plan is about to be. So how do you prioritize family time and self-care as a couple, as a family, times when like it's like time out?
Well, we do a lot of date a lot of dating, and we do a lot of stuff with our children. We do, especially our one son that's athlete. Victor is with him with most of his trainings, traveling with him. So we find the time. Having our businesses, we can work our own schedule. So we make sure that we scheduling things. We still vacation. We still make sure that we do things like that. But we date a lot. Me and Victor.
You gotta eat. So that's how, you gotta eat. So at the end of the day,
we date a lot. We're always on a date at least twice a week.
Yeah, easily. You gotta eat. That's how I look at it. So we've been knowing each other since we was in high school.
Okay.
Right? So I met her my senior year in high school. So before we even became, Crystal and Victor, before 2004. So from 2000 to 2004, from 2000 to 2004. We had a friendship, so we used to kick it. We'd go to the movies. She at the time she was in another relationship. I was in relationships, plural. I had my moments, but we always go to the movies. We'd always, let's go grab something to eat real quick.
We always hung out.
And I told her how to drive. She drive my little car, and the car, crazy about it, the car was called the Green Machine. Back in the day.
That's why we named the smoothie business.
1995 Mercury Tracer, little small chunk.
The Green Machine.
It's called the Green Machine because they drew from here to Virginia all the time. So we always dated. Like at the end of the day. So going to a movies is easy. Again, we live a life differently. So we'll go to a matinee when everybody else is at work, and they at night. We was like, all right, it's 2:00. Let's just stop over here real quick. Grab something to eat real fast, go look at that movie real quick, and then we go holler we holler at the children. Like she said, one of our child is he's an athlete, so he's getting ready to go, away, but we invested a lot of time and energy into his process. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go get him, and then we gotta take him. I gotta go to a training. I'll see you at 9:00, and then when 9:00 comes tonight, we kick it with them for a little bit. Then I might have to go back to the salon. I gotta clean. Maybe I gotta go cut up some stuff for the truck at the time. I wasn't sleeping at all during the season. 3 hours of sleep, 4 hours of sleep, but as long as I was able to make sure she was good, go ahead, go to bed. I'm still up sometimes. Sometimes I go to sleep too. And I'm up early. I'm an early riser. I've always been an early riser since I left high school, for real. I mean, I did it in high school, but it's different when you get out in the real world. I went out in the real world like straight out of high school. So that position I was in, we had to work 8 hours of the day, and then I had to play Division III football after that schedule of working. So like I had to always have myself routine. I'm up at 6 o'clock in the morning back then. I was like 18 years old, and I had my own bills. I had my own apartment. I had all these type of things I had to pay. I wasn't ready for it, but at least I
still prepped you for.
It prepped me. Yeah, it prepped me for where I'm at right now. So.
And I was a young mom, so I was 17 when I had our oldest son. So I was just used to always being responsible. So it just panned out the way it panned out.
So
I want to pivot. I want to pivot a little bit. Are we cool to talk about what's next?
Yeah.
Because I want that. I'm so excited for. So everybody who you guys know about the Green Machine, and they know about the salon, and you guys are a power couple. What's starting with you, Miss Crystal? What's next? What's the? Give me the story behind you transitioning from what you have to now where you're going.
Okay. So we made the decision to shut the salon down in January.
Okay.
And I switched to a salon suite.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And we created a brand called Chrissy C Beauty, which is a beauty brand that we created for wigs, hair line, and everything to try to start the transition of me having to do the day-to-day of hair and running an online brand. So we did that, and then also we are also opening up.
Wait, hold on. So your beauty brand. You're incorporating the service industry now with an e-commerce component.
Yes.
So that, that's amazing.
So that in my 40s, I'll be 40 this year.
Okay.
I don't have to walk into the salon and stand all day and do hair. So the plan is for us to push the beauty brand so that we're working with an online audience and go from there.
I can't even tell you how powerful and how strong that is. That shift from brick and mortar to online components, it evened the playing field for people who like what you're getting into now.
Yes.
So I wish you guys nothing but luck, nothing but good fortune and luck with this new venture. And explain. All right, so give me the second part, because the second part is just as exciting as the first part.
The second part is very exciting. We also transitioned the Green Machine to a brick and mortar, but it's going to be it's called That Breakfast Spot, and it's located in Clementon, New Jersey, and it's a breakfast restaurant / smoothie bar, and that is hopefully be open by the end of March, early April.
Yeah. So that was the big transition for sure. We partnered with some great people.
Okay.
It was not just us.
Not just us, yeah.
So it started off with just us, but now we partner with some other individuals that they're like, listen, we see what y'all doing. Y'all see what we doing. Let's figure out ways to get it together. And I'm really a big advocate for group economics. For those who don't get involved with that, I see it even here, with your wife. I see it over here with Keith as well. It's very important for you to partner with good people and build, because you just never know. So these other individuals, they came to us. They're like, listen, we got this building we're looking at right now, X, Y, and Z. Crystal and I, we always knew we were going to do a breakfast spot. We always knew that was kind of like the process anyway with the Green Machine.
Yeah.
We already knew this before we started the Green Machine.
Yeah.
This was going to happen.
We
this
love
is the
breakfast.
We
love breakfast.
We eat breakfast all the time. We go into places. We really we looking at certain things in the building, looking at their POS system. We looking at their waiters and waitresses. We looking at their menu on a regular basis. We understanding the price and cost, and we've been doing this for years.
It's been years.
It's been years. And in my family, our family, we cook a lot. We cook like the good breakfast. It's really good, so we make everything homemade and fresh. So we was like, all right, great. This is the perfect opportunity for us to transition and just continue to get better. It's kind of like we're getting something totally different, because now we're out of a food truck. Yeah. But we built a nice little following within the food truck that we can transition over into our brick and mortar. And everybody knows a brick and mortar location is very important. And then having those people to come through. So it's exciting. We have one spot that we're going to expand a little bit further. We were just doing smoothies on the truck. Now we're going to do some smoothies. We're going to do some fruit bowls along with that.
Oh, that's amazing.
We do a little bit of juicing as well. And we have some specials in regards to our juicing. Try to always make that nice and fresh and different as the seasons go. We're partnering with somebody that's really great as well, but I don't want to give that away yet. We wait till we open up with that.
Of course.
But anyway, so yeah, that's the main thing about the breakfast. But before we even get to the breakfast spot, you didn't talk about April 14th. What we doing April 14th? We're going somewhere.
Yeah.
We've been doing this since 2019 too. Right? 2018. There you go.
What is April 14th?
We're also wedding officiants. Yeah. So we marry folk. And we have a wedding in Miami April 14th.
Yeah, April 14th. So one thing about
flying
us,
to Miami. Yeah.
We did DR. We do different things, but we do a little different. So when we marry individuals, we care about unions. We care about togetherness, right? So there's not just her up on the stage. On the podium, the altar. It's both of us on the altar together.
Yeah, we do it together.
We do the ceremonies together. That kind of separates it a little bit different than any other wedding officiant. We take them out, we sit down with them. Some of these people we don't know from a can of paint. We build a relationship with them really quickly, and this is a very special day, right? So we've been doing this since, like you said, since 2018. It got bigger in 2020 though, right?
Yeah, we've been booking a lot more weddings since 2020
is when it really started really opening up. COVID years, it started, that's when we started. Again, everything comes together. People know it's from the hair, people know it's from the smoothies, people know it's from now, we're doing officiating.
But we have a little community with that now. We work with different wedding coordinators and everything. So now we get referrals, we already booked a few weddings out this year. So that's our long-term goal.
That's a long-term, that's something we're building. So that's something we building.
Yeah, so how would someone get in contact with you for that service?
lovetocommit@gmail.com.
Okay. lovetocommit@gmail.com.
Two T's.
Two T's on commit.
Okay.
T's on commit. Or love to commit on Instagram the same way. 2 T's.
Okay.
Love 2, the number 2.
Yeah.
On IG.
Is it the love number 2? Okay, yeah, it might be.
So that's love to commit with 2 T's.
2 T's, yeah.
On IG.
On IG.
Because that I think this world need more love. There's
facts.
What you First of all, we didn't even get to this part. How long were you two married?
When we started officiating?
No, how long have your relationship been?
We've been married. It'll be 16 years this year.
16 years.
20 years together,
Yeah.
16 years married. Yeah.
So these aren't people who are just newlyweds and just got with each other. They know each other. They understand balance. They understand the give and take within a relationship. And these are two people that you would want to bring your union together. So commit. What is it?
Love to commit.
Love to commit.
Love to commit.
That's very important because it's not, I would just really break that down a little bit because that's something I think is important for people to understand. Love is something it's a feeling, it's an emotion, right? So yeah, you can have a lot of love. You have a lot of love. You have love for your animals. You have love for your teacher. You have love for your mentors. You have love in different avenues, right? But when you come down to, that's the first start of a relationship to me in regards to being in a union with someone. But it's really about the commitment, because that love is only an emotion. Like, yeah, I got love for you, but right now I'm not really feeling you. Like, I'm
more.
not.
You need more.
You need way more than just love. Like, and sometimes people, especially with the way social media is rolling right now, people really is on this like real quick wave of hopping into relationships. Then people are competing with each other, and then women are like, I don't need man, like I don't need women. I just need you for a month. Like all that crazy stuff. But it's really a commitment. It's really a commitment. That helps you longevity-wise really live a happy life, in my personal opinion.
I feel like y'all need a podcast for when it comes to couples and
it's coming.
how to stay together and manage, not only manage the relationship, but manage businesses, multiple entities of businesses, but also have that togetherness. I see the joy. I feel the joy that's coming off of this couple in this room right now. Please, how can someone reach you for your beauty brand?
My beauty brand is Chrissy C Beauty. Chrissy is CRYSSI C Beauty on Instagram, and Hair by Vic's Queen as well. That's my personal page, VICS Queen, because I'm Victor's Queen.
Hey, that's right. And do we have social media and all of that set up for the breakfast spot yet?
Yes. So we have right now we have the Green Machine, right? The Green Machine 856, and we're going to transition that page over, those people there. But now we're going to be at that breakfast spot 856, which is our area code in South Jersey. So that breakfast spot 856 is on IG. On IG.
And I just want to say, right, I'm huge on breakfast myself.
All right.
I'm huge on breakfast myself.
Yeah.
And something that me and my wife do that a lot of people don't know behind the scenes, we spend a lot of time traveling, but we also spend a lot of time going to different places critiquing the food.
Thanks.
And so I can't wait. I was telling my wife, I'm so serious. These guys gonna get sick of me coming.
Yeah.
Because when I find a place that I like, not only do I bring my wife there, but then you're gonna see me there with Keith. You're gonna see me there with I bring everybody. I'm a man of habit.
That's love.
So
I love it.
When I like something, I'm there religiously. So I can't wait to support you guys. I love what you guys do, and we talk about this behind the scenes all the time, just how powerful your business can be if you have the right partners. Me, myself, I said in 2024, I set out to say that this is my year of collaboration.
Yes.
I'm only going to get where I need to be with other people. I sit here and I speak to a lot of entrepreneurs that say, oh, I did it all by myself. That is not the way. You have to, at some point, have partners. You got to have people that are in place that are going to be able to, pick up the slack for the things that you're not 100% proficient at. We can't be everywhere. We can't do everything. So listen, I am truly honored that you both came on this platform. This is the What's Your Grind podcast. I do want to shout out my sponsors, Mood and Senses. The Breakfast Spot 856. And Love to Commit.
Love to Commit.
Love to Commit. Number 2 with 2 T's. Yep. This is going to be the sponsor for this episode for this week. And what we want to do is amplify these businesses so that that we know we're hooked up with the people who are doing things in your local community. So I'm gonna wrap up this episode. My name is Keith Burroughs, and I appreciate you guys for coming on.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.